Okay, today we're looking at lesson 10.7, elapsed time. How can you solve elapsed time problems? By converting units of time. A computer company claims its laptop has a battery that lasts 4 hours. The laptop actually ran for 200 minutes before the battery ran out. Did the battery last 4 hours? How many minutes is 1 hour?
60 minutes.
60 minutes. The minute hand moves from one number to the next. How far is it if the minute hand, which is the long one up by the 12, if it moves between the 12 and the 1, how many minutes is that?
5.
If it moves between the 12 and the 6, how many minutes is that?
30.
If it moves between the 3 and the 12, how long is that?
50.
The 3, starting at the 3, going to the 12. 45 minutes. Okay. What if it moves from the 10 to the 7? 45 again. Okay, that's just a little review. So, we're trying to decide if 200 minutes is the same as 4 hours. Step 1, convert minutes into hours and minutes. So how am I going to convert 200 minutes into hours and minutes?
Minutes to hours?
No, 4 hours, 200 minutes to hours, yes.
So 200 minutes.
I don't want to know what it is, I want to know how I'm going to do it.
Oh, how are you going to do it? You could multiply 60 times. You can just multiply 60 times 3 and see what you get.
Yes, you could. Or what else could you do?
You could divide 200 by 60.
Right. You could certainly multiply it if you want and keep multiplying 60 by whatever. I prefer to divide by 60. You happen to be right. Whoops, that should say 10. Sorry.
I got it right because I did it in my head.
Yep. So 0 minus 0 is 0. 10 minus 8 is 2. So how many hours do I have?
3.
And how many minutes do I have left over? 20. So 200 minutes, which is what the battery lasted, was 3 hours and 20 minutes. So our total minutes are 200 divided by 60 is 3, remainder 20. Compare, right? Less than, greater than, or equal to. Three hours and 20 minutes is what? Than 4 hours. Less than. Since 3 hours and 20 minutes is less than 4 hours, the battery did not last as long as the computer company claims. Try this. Convert to mixed measures. Jill spent, this is at the bottom of page 431, Jill spent much of her summer away from home. She spent 10 days with her grandparents, 9 days with her cousins, and 22 days at camp. How many weeks and days was she away from home? So find the total. Now, if I'm going to find this total, and I can do it mentally, I'm going to say, well, 22 plus 10 is 32. And then I'm going to add 9, and I know that's going to be up in the 40s, but it's going to be 1 less in the ones place. So how many days was it?
40.
41 days that she spent away from home in the summer. Convert the days into weeks and days. So how many days in a week? So what are we going to do here? We're going to say 41 divided by 7. So 41, and many of you can do this in your head, is 5, right? 35. Then I'm going to have 6 left over. So it is 5, remainder 6. So Jill was away from home 5 weeks and 6 days. Okay, now we're at the beginning of, at the top of page 432. It says Monica spent 2.5 hours working on her computer. If she started working at 10:30 a.m., what time did Monica stop? Use a number line. So they've done this part for you right here. That is 1 hour. She worked another hour. And then she worked, oh, I'm supposed to be writing the time here. Oh no. Then she worked how much after that? Another half hour. So plus 1/2. So I have 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 1/2. So after 1 hour, what time was it? 11. It went from 10:30 to an hour later, 11:30. Then I did another hour, which would be
12:30.
Oh, I'm supposed to write that on that little line. Yeah. 12:30. And then, so if I add a half an hour to 12:30, what time am I going to be at? 1 o'clock. Am I still going to be in AM or am I going to be in PM? PM. Very good. So Monica stopped working at 1 o'clock PM. Okay, so now we're in the bottom half of that box on page 432. Another way, use a clock to find the time. So if she started at 10:30, and she would go from 10:30 to 11:30 to 12:30, and then 30 more minutes. We're still coming out at 1 o'clock AM.
PM.
Whoops. Thank you. PM. Okay, now we're on the try this in the middle of page 432. Robert's soccer team needs to be off the soccer field by 12:15 p.m. Each game is at most 1 3/4 hours long, so they won't go over 1 3/4 hours. What time should the game begin to be sure that the team finishes on time? 1/4 hour is 15 minutes, so 3/4 hour is how long?
45.
All right, 3 times 15 is 45 minutes. Step 1, subtract the minutes first. Now, what time did he have to be done? 12:15. So they're going to go back 45 minutes. So now what time would he be at here?
11:30.
11:30. And now we went to AM time. So 45 minutes earlier is 11:30 AM. You should be writing that. 1 hour and 45 minutes earlier is, now if we go back from there, an hour. From 1:30, we're going to go back 11:30, we're going to go back and it's going to be 10:30 a.m. So the game should begin at 10:30 a.m. Okay, this is number 4 on page 433. If you're watching this because you missed class today, please stop your recording and see if you can work through this, and then come back to it to see if you got your answer correct. All right, let's look at this. It says the start time is 9:17 a.m. Lapse time is 5 hours and 18 minutes. So for me, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And know that I'm at what? What hour? 2 o'clock. And then I need to go forward 18 minutes. Well, if I go from 17 to 20, that's 3 minutes. So then I have 15 more. 5, 10, 15 minutes. So now I'm at 35 minutes past the hour, and I have passed from a.m. to p.m. Okay, now we're going to look at number 3 on that page 433, the one that has a little check mark on it. And I want you to stop the recording and work through that, and then come back to me. Okay, now that you're back with me, if I have 110 hours, I'm going to have to make that today's. I'm going from a small unit of measure, right, to a larger unit. An hour is shorter than a day. So how many hours are in one day? 24. So what did you guys get? 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Carry a 1. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. Then if I subtract that, I get 14. So I remainder 14. So the 4 here is my days, and the 14 here is my hours. Okay, this is number 5 in the on your own. We're just going to work through this together. 3 years equals how many days? So we're going from a large measurement to a small, so we're going to multiply. So how many days are in a year?
365.
365. So we're going to multiply that by 3. So I got 1,095 days. Okay. 208 weeks equals how many years? Is weeks a smaller measurement than year or a larger?
Smaller.
Smaller. So again, so this time we're going to do what?
Divide.
Do you know how many weeks are in a year?
56.
52, I believe.
It's 208.
Oh, we gotta fix that. Okay. So how many 50s in 200? 4. We can use a little estimation here. So let's try 4. What is 2 times 4? 8. And 4 times 5 is 20. So how many years is 208 weeks? 4. Okay. This one is number 7. We're going from minutes to hours. So a small measurement to a large, just like this one. So we're going to have to divide again. 350. What are we going to divide by? How many minutes in an hour? 60. How many 6s in 35? 6s in 35. 5. So if I take 5 times 0, I get 0, and 5 times 6, I get 30. And if I subtract, I get 50, which is less than 60, so I know my estimation there was good. So 350 minutes is 5 hours and 50 minutes.